Okay, so we are going to be doing the arms. So same idea as the legs. We're just going to be extruding from the shoulders, and we've kind of already prepped our area for this by having some clean faces to kind of work with. So what I'd like to do is actually I need to add in one more edge loop on the chest right across here. So add it right here in the middle. And then I'm going to go ahead and just take in, put that in a little bit, this in over. And that's just going to very gently just kind of round out this area just a hair. Just a hair. Okay, I'm going to grab these 4. I'm going to go ahead and extrude. And I'm not going to extrude out that way. We're going to extrude out to the side. So I'm going to grab my move tool. I'm going to extrude that out over here. And then I'm going to go and click and my scale tool and scale it in and flatten. Okay? Let's go back over to move. I'm going to move this back right there. Let's go a vertex selection right here, again with the right mouse button. Move that up, and we're just going to round this out before we go any further. Okay. Move that down a little bit, so we're just kind of just a little bit more even. His arms are essentially tubes, so I'm just going to try to remember that. Let's grab these faces again. We'll do extrude. And bring it all the way out. Look at our front view. Go all the way out to the wrist. And then I'm going to go and do another extrusion. I'll bring it out to basically where that finger begins, right there. And then I'm just going to kind of shape the wrist a little bit from this area. So what I'd like to do is go to edge selection, grab this edge. Actually, let's grab like these 3 edges on the bottom. Go back to move. And I'm just going to move it up a little bit. And then, actually, let's do vertex for these. Holding shift to select multiple. Move these down. Go and just move all of these up a little bit. I'll move this guy over just a hair. I'm kind of thinking like where I want to put the thumb, because the thumb is going to be coming out somewhere right about here. Okay. And then I'm going to have my finger flipper thingy coming out on this end. So let's go and do a, let's just tear the multi-tools off, or mesh tools. Put those there, do multi-cut. do a multi-cut right here and right there. So kind of at the beginning and end of where that thumb is going to be coming out. And then let's do a move tool, vertex selection. Grab this, and then let's do an extrude. Little handles over there. I'm just kind of scaling down that extrusion. And then I'm going to do another extrude. And we're just going to kind of pull it out a little bit. And grab our move tool over here. Move that out. Move that out. Over a little bit. Let's grab this face and this face. And let's do extrude again. Pull that out. Sounds going over here. So pull that out. Expand that out, then we'll do another extrusion, and then pull it out again, and then we're going to shrink that. So it kind of sort of looks like maybe like a peanut. Nothing terribly impressive. Okay. All right. I guess it's going to look like Squidward. Isn't Squidward's hand kind of like this? I think. Let's do extrude. Did we not do an extrude? Let's do extrude. Okay. Then we'll go and hit move tool. You'll see from the artwork right here, it kind of flares out. So that's what I'm going to want to make sure I'm kind of working on. Just grab the scale tool, flare that out, extrude again. Extrude again, bring that in, and I'm going to actually hit the scale tool right here so I can kind of bring that in a little bit more and bring that up. So something kind of paddly like that. I'm just kind of working to round off this shaper a little bit right here. So something kind of like that. And then right here on the end of this, the thumb, I can do an extrude, bring it out, Scale it in. Switch over to the scale tool. If we double click on the scale tool right here, it'll bring up the tool settings, and it'll give us an option for axis orientation from object to world to normal. Let's see. Component, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So that'll just change the rotation to basically fit the component that we're working with. And that's just what I'm looking for, just to scale that in a little bit. Alright, I'm going to grab the move tool, bring that over, bring that over. Grab this edge, scale this in, hit W to move that in. Let's change that back from, let's see, component back to object. Sometimes it can be a little confusing. Again, I'm just double clicking on the tool itself on the toolbar, and that'll bring up the tool settings. Okay. Okay. I'm going to show you guys something called soft select. If you double click, honestly, any of your tools, like the move, rotate, scale, you have an option that says soft selection. If you click soft selection, drop it, open this up, and click on soft selection, you'll see that the vertex changes color when you select it. And then you have a option for fall off radius. What this does is it essentially gives you the ability to kind of like move multiple components around at once. And then there's a fall off radius on how much it actually affects it. B as in boy is the hotkey to turn this off and on. I would write that down because I had a lot of students that asked me questions about that. And then if you hold down B as in boy and middle mouse drag left and right, you'll see that we can actually make our fall off radius bigger and smaller. So it's kind of useful like that. So I use this to just do soft movement on my meshes as I'm working on them. And it almost kind of gives me a little bit of like a sculpting feel for it, feel for the mesh. It's pretty useful. And then if we do a multi-cut, I'll throw in a multi-cut right there. I'm going to throw in a couple more multi-cuts. I'll show you something else. Let's actually throw in several multi-cuts just going up and down the arm. And I'm just going to evenly space them out. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the hip. Put a couple more on the feet. Put one here on the sides. And what we're doing is we're just kind of just evenly just laying out the topology. And what I'm going to show you is the smooth tool. Okay, and the smooth tool, if I go under mesh tools sculpting. These are all sculpting tools for 3D meshes. The smooth tool is pretty useful because I like to use it to kind of relax meshes a little bit. So once you click it, your mesh will kind of turn a little bit gray like this. And you can change the brush size by holding down B as in boy and mouse dragging. Just click and drag. And you don't want to like just go at it hard. You want to kind of soft. I tend to go in and just kind of click. You could use a brush if you have a tablet. That is a possibility. Just be aware if you overdo it, it's gonna wreck your mesh. So I'm just doing it just to kind of even out some parts of the mesh. And it makes it just a little bit easier for me to work with. And I'm just clicking here and there. I'm not gonna go crazy. Just doing a little bit. No, see, that was too much. So I don't want to do that. That might be a little bit much. Here, maybe the top of the feet. So see, it kind of like smooths that out a little bit. There you go. That's kind of what we're looking for, is we're just kind of smoothing that out. Go bring this in a little bit. Okay. Hit Q, let's go back to our mesh. And now we can kind of work on the face. Okay? And then we'll be done. We almost done. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and get a create menu, polygon, sphere. This is going to be my eyeball. Let's do, where's my front view? Oh, this was my front view. I'm going to go to panels, orthographic, front. Oh, that was my front view. Okay, my panels have gotten moved around on me. Okay, let's go right back here. I'm going to rotate that sphere 90 degrees. Okay. Let's scale it up. There we go. Look at the side view. Okay, that'll fit. Alright, so I want to work on the face. I'm going to turn off soft select, hit B as in boy. Let's see. So I'm going to grab the two faces here on the front, and then we're going to do an extrusion. And the goal with this is we're going to create a cavity that the mouth can open up and close in, but we're also going to be creating edge loops that go around the mouth, so that if this thing was rigged so it could be animated and it could actually work, we would want it to be able to animate properly and deform properly. And so creating these edge loops that go around the mouth is going to be a good way of doing this. So easiest way to do that is I'm going to go ahead and extrude this down. You'll see we kind of have this face loop that's going around. I have this face right here. And then what I want to do is go back to my vertexes. And let's just grab those vertexes. Go back to your move, bring it down. And we're just going to shape what the lip looks like. Now this, I mean, honestly for this, it's just a line. It's nothing crazy. And then I'm going to go ahead and let's do a scale. I'm going to flatten out a little bit. And then I want to do a extrude. Let's do the move tool and move that back. I'm at 4 so you can see the inside. This 4 is wireframe, by the way. Then we'll go back to extrude. Go back to, yeah, there we go. So we'll just extrude that. And then kind of scale that up. Let's go with our scale tool. And then let's go ahead and extrude again. We'll do another extrude. And then I'm going to grab my scale tool again, and what we're basically making is a cavity for the mouth. So we'll scale that down. And then we'll just kind of go in and shape this like a mouth, or like a mouth sack. Now on more advanced character models, we could fill this with like teeth, tongue, gums, things like, stuff that's normally inside of a mouth. Here we're just going to make the mouth sack and just be okay with it. It'll work. There we go. And then we're going to create a socket for the eye to sit in. Same idea, we want to have a eyelid that goes around the eye. So we can grab this, these two faces, go to extrude, and then bring that in. Let's go to here. Okay, let's look at it from the side. And then we'll look at it from the front view. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and extrude this back. And then I'm not really as concerned much about that eye sack or eyeball sack as what we're doing with the mouth. We do want to go and throw in a couple more edge loops right here. That's going to allow us to create corners of the mouth, or corners of the eye, I mean. Let's grab that, bring that down. And as we're shaping around the eye, I'm also going to be shaping kind of like parts of the skull, again, to kind of like work with this eyeball that we're putting in here. I'm going to grab these 1, 2, 3, 4. So these two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. I want to do a extrusion in here. What's going to happen with doing this is it's going to allow me to have another set of edges that I can work with to further shape the eyelid. I'm going to do the same thing right here. Let's do 2, 3. I'm going to actually do the same thing. And the reason why I'm doing this is that I don't want extra edges are going to go around the entire body. I just want them or through the lips. So something kind of like that. So I'm going to hit extrude and then shrink it. Oh, no, I didn't get that quite right. I'm missing something. There we go. Okay, extrude that. There we go. Alright. Go ahead and grab these vertexes, have a little bit more definition to the body or to the mouth. And then also importantly, we're going to have a couple extra vertexes for us to shape the underside of the eyes, or underside of the eyelid. One thing I might like to do is actually split this edge. So what I'm going to do is grab this edge loop that goes all the way around. It could benefit because this face and this face are getting a little bit stretched. So what we could do is go through and click bevel, and that'll split it. And now we got just a little bit more definition around there. And then I can grab these extra new vertexes and kind of shape that face or shape that head. It's just giving us more opportunity. One thing I'd like to do is start low res and work my way up to higher resolution. So really with this one, this extremely low res character, we can add a little bit extra here and there to kind of further accentuate the shaping. Let's go and put in a couple of edge loops around the eyes. I'm going to do just 2, and we'll do 2 here. Okay. Hit Q. I'm going to go back to vertex, grab the move tool, and then just using, since we have a few extra new ones, I'm just kind of working on shaping that roundness of the face. And like right here, I'm just going to tuck that back in. Like the eyelid is kind of like folded. Alright, one last thing I like to do with eyeballs, and I'll just show you this. I'm going to actually select this cap right here. The way that I like to do that is do Shift right click, Control right click. There's an option that says Grow Selection, and then you go over to Grow, and it grows out that selection. That'll grab the little cap in there for you as well. We can do Extrude, and then do that inward. Grab our scale tool, flatten it. I'll turn off my mirroring. Switch back over to my scale tool, and then I'll do extrude again. Kind of bring it in again. And that's like a really basic eyeball. And I can like move that around wherever you want. Okay. If you want to do the antennas, we can add them in last. Let's see. Let's turn that symmetry back on. So I'm going back into symmetry, Object X. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to chamfer vertex. And that's going to split it into essentially a quad. And I'm just going to kind of even out that shape. One thing this does is it does give us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 n-gons. So I'm going to fix that real quick by doing multi-cut. So that's going to fix 1. It's going to fix 2. So I just cut across. So now we took the 2 n-gons and made them 4 quads. And then I'm going to go take this around. That'll fix that one. I'm basically going over from here to the middle and then going back up and joining it in the middle here. So that'll take care of this n-gon, and then I still have this one left. I'm going to go from this corner to this corner. So the point of doing all that is we're just trying to get like a small, evenly placed quad for me to do a simple extrusion. But you know, nice thing is it does give us some extra vertexes to kind of shape the top of the head a little bit more. Okay, so these faces, you know, let's move this up a little bit more. Move that one up. There we go. Okay, so these faces right here. We'll do extrude out. If you hit the letter G as in Game Boy, that redoes the last use tool, so you can do multiple extrudes in one go. That's a really, really simple antenna. If you would like to add a little bend to this antenna, Remember that soft select we talked about? B as in boy. Let's grow that selection out just a little bit. I'm going to grab that rotate tool. And we'll put my camera right about here. And I'm actually not going to use any of these axes to rotate on. I'm just going to use this light blue one because that actually locks to the camera angle. See, just like that. And then I can move. And that gives me a slight angle or slight curve on that that geometry. Oh, he looks angry. Let's make him nice. There we go. I'm just gonna soft select him. I'm just kind of playing around with the vertexes right now. Alright. Okay, so when you turn this in, take a screenshot of your model like this. So I want to see the artwork as image planes. And then you're going to save the Maya file with your name, your class, and the assignment. Just like we say in the syllabus, so make sure you save that out as well, and then you're going to turn in the Maya file, okay? And that'll be it.